You're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion, 'cause I am a champion. You're gonna hear me roar. Today I am doing something that I am so excited about. I can't even breathe. I am doing your Leo Midheaven. I have a cold, so I'm feeling a little bit weird and a little bit crazy and a little bit all over the place right now. And oh, I got some stuff going on. That was my dad. This is your Leo Midheaven. And if you're here because you were born in the end of July, beginning of August, this video is not for you. So even if you are a Leo, you may not have a Leo Midheaven. Feel free to find what your Midheaven is by clicking a link below in astro.com or cafeastrology.com, or if you know another place, look there. It's your 10th house cusp in your astrological chart. If you've never heard that before and it's all alien to you, just click the information and follow the instructions on those websites that I linked you to, because they'll help you find it. But your 10th house cusp is your Midheaven. It's the axis in the middle of your chart. Makes like a line like this. This is how your middle of your chart looks, sometimes like this. Anyway, Leo is your Midheaven. It's at the very top point. And then your IC is the opposite, and it's Aquarius. And that is your very lowest point. Not the lowest point that you've ever been in your life, but maybe it could be the lowest point you've ever been in your life. My good friend Katy Perry. I am going to talk about her. You're not my good friend Katy Perry, but if you want to be my good friend, you can be. My name is Alyssa, and I make videos on YouTube about astrology, and I love you. So, the Leo Midheaven started from the bottom, and now it's here. In the bottom, it started at Aquarius. And Aquarius is the humanitarian sign. And so what's it doing in the 4th house? Well, the 4th house is your home, is your upbringing, is how your parents raised you and like what they instilled in you and things like that. Since it's Aquarius, it's kind of like you had a Capricorn IC, because of the fact that there were strong restrictions. You see, Aquarius is not only ruled by Uranus, it's also ruled by Saturn, so it is kind of restricted. But the difference between Aquarius and Capricorn is that Aquarius rebels. Capricorn does not. A Capricorn IC will be like, ooh, my life is shitty. I'm going to go up to Cancer, my Cancer Midheaven, and expect love from everybody else. Having Aquarius IC means you had a weird little childhood. You didn't always feel like your parents let you succeed and let you uncover your own truths and let you be yourself. And so you rebelled, either openly or non-openly, depending on, like, say if you had a Sagittarius or Libra ascendant, you might have openly rebelled, like Katy Perry. But if you had like a Scorpio ascendant, maybe you had inner rebellion, where you were like, I'm rebelling on the inside, and you were all like, this sucks. But then you choose to find your own happiness. And then your Leo Midheaven is where you give that happiness off into the world. And you act like a child for the world. Why did your parents give you an Aquarius IC? Because it is also the humanitarian placement. It causes you to feel that maybe you weren't the most important person in the family. That maybe other things were. Maybe your dad was in the army and you traveled around so that he could help people. Maybe your parents were missionaries. Maybe your parents were pastors. Everybody knows that Katy Perry has a pastor daddy and that she rebelled from him. But she still loves him, because I'm not saying that you don't love your parents. You truly love your family and everything, because you really enjoy that you got a different upbringing, because it made you unique, and you feel unique in the lowest, deepest part of your chart, of your soul. You feel unique. You feel rebellious. You feel different and exciting. but in a way it can make you feel uneasy, because Uranus, not Uranus, but Uranus rules Aquarius as well as Saturn does. And Uranus is basically like the flip-flop planet. If you see Uranus somewhere, it's like that house, that sign is flip-flopped. You know, Uranus conjuncts your sun. You're a little bit flip-floppy. You're a little bit weird. You might not actually believe everything that you say, and you flip-flop. So having your IC in the flip-flop sign can make it just seem a little bit unstable or uncouth. Maybe you just had ridiculous parents who wanted you to do ridiculous things that were just so different from what everybody else around you was doing, and you so desperately wanted to feel normal, and then you learned to embrace it, and you learned to be quirky and weird and innovative and original. So after you got this Aquarius IC, you grew up a little bit. You grew up to this point where you're like, I am my own unique person. I am my special person. I have a deep inner voice that's different from everybody else's. And I didn't necessarily get to be a child. So in my ego conscious, what I develop when I'm around 6, I develop that I have a purpose. I have a reason. I am out in the world, in the middle of my peers, standing up for something different. This is what I was born to be. It's also your online persona, because it's that public image of you that you want to project. So your internet persona, say who you are on social media, what you want to project to the world. And Leo is a child sign. It's a 5th house. It's pleasure. It's fun. Some people say it's about sex. It's about drinking, and it can be. A lot of times, more so, it's about childlike behavior and maybe tongue-in-cheek sexual innuendo, and maybe, you know, boobs hanging out of candy cane t-shirts, because it's excitement and it's just fun. Not all Leo midheavens are going to project this image of childlike behavior, but all of them will get very butthurt if you don't worship them. And I'm not saying that being a Leo midheaven, you need to be worshipped in every aspect of your life, but you do in the public realm. You aren't necessarily competitive like the Sagittarius midheaven when it comes to, you know, say on the internet, you post a status and a Sagittarius midheaven is going to be like, I need 15 likes, or this status is garbage and I'm going to delete it. A Leo midheaven might get a little bit butthurt if they write something funny and nobody likes it and nobody comments, because a Leo midheaven really desires their image to be considered beautiful and fun, and like the king, the Leo king, they want everybody to gather around and bask in its glory, in its funness. And a new kid comes up on the block and tries to challenge your authority, you will challenge right back in any way, shape, or form to remain the king of the mountain. Did you ever play that game? Probably did. You're a Leo midheaven. You play lots of games. It's so similar to the Capricorn IC Cancer midheaven, but it's so not. Where the Cancer midheaven decides that everybody needs to be their family, the Leo midheaven decides that it wants to be a pleasing child, and it wants to please the world and make the world love them so that they can shine like the stars in the sky, so that they can feel better about the fact that their parents might have had better things to do than give them love all the time. So say you come from a family of 2 people and they're married, and one of them loves you and the other one seems to not care. It affects you. It affects you very personally and very deeply, even if one of them really did nurture. So you still feel like you need to get that recognition from the world, and need the world to know how amazing and fun-loving and exciting you are. The last thing a Leo midheaven wants to do is bring somebody down. They want everybody to rise up with them, and then they want to rise further. Leo midheavens don't push other people down. The Leo Midheaven wants to drink, eat, and be merry with a group of their closest admirers. Leo Midheavens do not hurt people when they are challenged. Leo very much knows, is the only sign that really has this down, but maybe like Libra, but for all different reasons. Leo knows that the best way to piss somebody off is to be the king, to not give a fuck about the people that are coming up behind them. Because as long as they can maintain their status of being loved, they can shun people with their same ability to be loved. They don't enjoy anybody feeding off of their pain. They don't enjoy anybody seeing that they have pain. They protect that pain with their entertaining. Leo Midheavens are the most fun to talk to online because they are all full of just like blah 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 blah. Look at all my stuff I'm talking to you about. I have all this stuff, and my baby's crying. If you have a Leo Midheaven and you're not dealing with your own inner mental health, if you're unable to truly reach out to people and just to be a voice for those who cannot speak, if you can't rebel against your own restrictions, you can't be the lion that you are supposed to be in your midheaven. You can't be that person because the Leo midheaven needs to be noticed. It needs to be liked. And if you are getting liked for the wrong reasons, because you're being an asshole, because you're hurting people who actually don't give a fuck about you, if you start hurting people based on your own inner insecurity, you're not being that lion, and therefore you cannot thrive. You cannot roar. The purpose of the Leo midheaven is to project an inner confidence, to teach other people how to be confident, is to learn when to take a back seat, but to also take control, take the leadership, take responsibility for things, to be strong and brave in the workplace, in your own public image, to be a representation of all things good and fun and lighthearted, to help people escape their own issues. And you can't do that when you're not taking care of yourself. You can't do that when you have inner hatred towards other people. You can't be the best version of who you are. As a Leo midheaven, sometimes you can get caught up in this insecurity that you just don't have enough to offer, and that people liking you is what's going to make you somebody special. And if people don't like you, you're not going to feel all right. It becomes a vicious cycle because nobody's going to like you if you're not somebody worth liking. The only way for a Leo midheaven to project confidence, to project real confidence, is to actually be confident in themselves and not be that person who needs to stand for people liking them, for the likes, for the love, for the subscribers, for everything, but to be the person who is actually worth loving. And the only way you can do that is to truly love yourself and love other people. You can grow cold and detached from your own feelings because Aquarius is detached, and having that at your innermost being because of the way you were raised, and now you grew up with this detachment from love and from nurture and from feelings, you're afraid of getting hurt. You're afraid of that. So you do project this image of you that is just happy, because you don't want more people to hurt what's already down. Be true to yourself. Allow yourself to really feel, and allow yourself to go through all the emotions. And just because you feel detached and that you can be detached doesn't mean there's other places in your chart where you actually have to feel emotion, and you actually have to take control of emotion, and you might actually be hurting people by detachment, by the fact that you are assuming that this person already doesn't love you, so that maybe you shouldn't love them first. Nobody said it better than Katy Perry. I've got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire, 'cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Louder, louder than a lion, 'cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 you're gonna hear me roar. And that's your Leo midheaven.